Greetings, fellow musicologists. Alex Tamulus, welcome to the channel. Brann Dailor has stated that the new album called Hushed and Grim will be out on October 29th. It was partly inspired by their late manager, Nick John. He passed away in September of 2018 from pancreatic cancer, and the event deeply affected the band members. Brann shared an explanation about the cover. The tree is an afterlife mythology that when you pass away, your spirit goes into the heart of a tree and then experiences all the pillars of your life in successions of the seasons that the tree experiences. That is the way you're able to say goodbye to the natural world and move on to the next dimension. You can see a green man in the center of the tree, the heart of the tree, and that's our good friend and manager Nick John, who passed away unfortunately a couple years ago. He has a lot to do with the inspiration of the new album, end quote. So the cover gives you the motifs of reincarnation and grief. One of the main characteristics of folk tales is that they're passed down orally among generations. Typically try to teach a lesson about right, about wrong, a fight between good and evil, portrayed by the guy with the blue blindfold and the other guy with the red one. And here comes the main metaphor of this video. The metaphor that life is a race, and the race is a maze. Our roads are not linear. So we're constantly competing either against someone else or against the clock itself, the biological clock. You have two guys, like I said, blindfolded. They're cooped up in this triangular structure. It's kind of like, a cocoon. It's similar to a womb, to a placenta. The lady looks like one of those Cenobites from the Hellraiser franchise. BDSM vibes, but I believe they're referring to the violent and cruel aspects of life. Life hurts. Life is tough. Life's a game, and the game is about to begin. You see like this magical clock, and in my opinion, it represents the time that you're given. It's your biological clock. As the omnipresent audience, we're both the runners in the maze and we're both the spectators there, As you can tell, the spectators, they are very old. They represent the dominant aristocrats, the powers that be, the ones who get to watch lay people going by their lives. So they're like, superior demigods, they're all seeing, and you see signs of opulence, signs of wealth. You see books to represent knowledge. You also see apples to represent knowledge. And there's plenty of food. It's a rich environment. They are entertained by the fellas in the maze, right? They're watching, kind of like, they are Roman senators, and they're watching the gladiators. It's a bit of the Panis et Circenses situation, you give people food and you give people entertainment, and they will be pleased. And the powerful dudes are watching. Now Troy sings words that are correlated to Nick John's situation, again, in my opinion, by analyzing the context. I better understand this part when I think about it. Check it out. Another prick of a thorn, the body reaches deep, as I choke the situation, seeming clever and wise, clouded beyond the dark cells. I know not what drips inside me. We have a thorn as a metaphor and a needle and the drips, so it could be linked to an IV, could be linked to a hospital situation with Nick and the fact that he's getting worse at this point, pushing the tides, trying not to go down and take an under, pushing the tides, try to keep my head above the water. And in the video, here comes the key point, the moment where the guy in the red mask bumps into this hand that appears out of nowhere. I see the hand as being cancer itself, or, being some sort of creator, but it's the one who's got the power to remove you from the game of life. Call it illness, you can call it God, randomness, coincidence, fate, whatever you want to call it. It's just this abrupt change in scenario. You try untying the weight, and you continue to breathe. I remove you for protection. And where to go from here? A place you value the most. Such a brilliant realization. So to me, it's like those 5 stages of grief. You bargain, you deny, you accept, you try to do the right things. But the most expensive thing right now is time. The waiter now comes with that note, and it says, there's time to drink now. You've accepted the cards that you were dealt. And everything in a way, obviously, again, that's my reading, but they're representing cancer itself. The butcher is cancer killing you. You know, your outer shell looks very healthy and pristine, but deep inside you're being eaten alive. It's a very heavy moment, and it's totally understandable that they call the album grim. And even the color of the cover is gray. So there's realization that life is sudden, life is brief. Someone who's healthy can be, abruptly impacted by this untimely thing. And the guy in blue, it represents, luck and the random aspect of cards and chance and his living life, and he's reaching higher positions and higher echelons in society. He can be seen as the corporate ladder kind of guy. He will be meeting the aristocrats, and the feast will begin with the books and knowledge and everything. He's just clueless about the whole nuts and bolts of the process. That's the thing. Drinking human blood. It's an analogy to the vampire, it's the parasite, favored versus less favored. You've done something in your life that you've contributed to the suffering of other people. There's something within the process that was unfair, that came at the expense of human lives. The moral of the story is, you don't know the cards that you're given. You don't know how much time you have here on this earth. So carpe diem. Live life to its fullest. Exercise empathy. Be a better version of yourself. That's why I like music so bad, because you can say so much by using the language of music, melodies, chords, and words. Music is what music does, and I'm signing out. I'll see you again in the next video. Please subscribe to this channel if you think this content helps you in any way. Bye now.